Exclusive. Eamonn Holmes rejects huge six-figure ITV deal over worries about Katie Alexander relationship. Eamonn Holmes turned down a lucrative offer from ITV Celebrity Big Brother bosses, admitting he feared being away from his girlfriend Katie Alexander and a possible lack of support in the house. The GB News anchor, 65, had been at the top of the list of who producers wanted in the upcoming series which will air next year. Following his divorce from loose women's Ruth Langsford after 14 years of marriage, they believed Eamonn would have been the ideal housemate. But Eamonn had feared that due to his mobility issues, he wouldn't have the right support in the house and also worried about missing his new girlfriend, Katie Alexander. It comes amidst reports that the former This Morning legend could be planning to pop the question to his lover. Now, a source have said that while Eamonn was flattered by the offer, it's not something he's willing to take on at the moment. Speaking to the Mirror, our source said, Eamonn was approached to do Celebrity Big Brother. He was flattered by the offer and it was a huge six-figure sum. After giving it some serious thought, he ultimately turned it down. The logistics of navigating the house and needing a wheelchair really concerned him and he didn't feel confident that the support he'd need would be there. Eamonn has, in recent months, been using mobility aids such as a walking stick and most recently, an electric wheelchair following major surgery on his back. However, the outspoken broadcaster has opened up about being able to use a walker for shorter distances after enduring an epidemic of pain. Our source went on to add, Eamonn also values his time at home with his partner Katie, and being locked away from her for such a long period wasn't something he could come to terms with. The producers were really keen to have Eamonn on the show. They saw him as a huge draw for viewers and were willing to pull out all the stops. With his controversial opinions he would make the perfect housemate. But Eamonn knows his limits, and the idea of being in such an unpredictable environment, without Katie and the support he relies on, made it a no-go. They went on to say that Katie had been a huge support for Eamonn after his bombshell split from Ruth, having dated the star since 1996. It was a tough decision for Eamonn because the financial offer was incredibly tempting, but he has to prioritize his health and mobility, our insider added. But Eamonn is said to have believed that, with all the challenges of the Celebrity Big Brother house, it didn't feel realistic for him to enter, given his use of aids such as a wheelchair when it came to maneuvering it around the property. Despite thinking long and hard about it, the practical star failed to see how it would work. The source commented, producers were desperate to have Eamonn involved and even tried to address some of his concerns. The money was astronomical, but for him, it's not just about the paycheck. The thought of being away from his partner and his home comforts didn't feel worth the stress. Eamonn Holmes rejects huge six-figure offer from ITV to star in Celebrity Big Brother due to worries over his relationship with girlfriend Katie Alexander. Eamonn Holmes has reportedly turned down a huge six-figure offer to star in Celebrity Big Brother 2025. It's been said that the GB News host, 65, was deemed the perfect housemate, with producers keen to get him in the famous house especially amid his divorce from Ruth Langsford, 64. It was previously reported that Eamonn, who has embarked on a new romance with Katie Alexander, 43, is said to be at the top of ITV's wish list for next year's series with bosses tempting him with a £250,000 fee. However, while the star is said to be flattered by the offer, he has ultimately rejected it as he allegedly feared being away from his girlfriend, who is 22 years his junior. Eamonn, who suffers with mobility issues due to a long-term back injury, also worried about the possible lack of support he'd receive due to his specific needs. A source told the Mirror, Eamonn was approached to do Celebrity Big Brother. He was flattered by the offer and it was a huge six-figure sum. After giving it some serious thought, he ultimately turned it down. The logistics of navigating the house and needing a wheelchair really concerned him and he didn't feel confident that the support he'd need would be there. The insider went on to explain Eamonn's concerns about not being in contact with his partner, with whom he recently sparked engagement rumors, and has been a huge support following his split from Ruth. They said, Eamonn also values his time at home with his partner Katie, and being locked away from her for such a long period wasn't something he could come to terms with. They continued, the producers were really keen to have Eamonn on the show. They saw him as a huge draw for viewers and were willing to pull out all the stops. With his controversial opinions he would make the perfect housemate. But Eamonn knows his limits, and the idea of being in such an unpredictable environment, without Katie and the support he relies on, made it a no-go. The publication reports that it was a tough decision for the broadcaster as the offer was incredibly tempting, but in the end he had to put his health and mobility first. After surgery on his back in 2022 for a slipped disc, Eamonn has not been able to walk unaided and often relies on a wheelchair or an electric mobility scooter. The source added it didn't feel realistic for Eamonn to enter the Big Brother house, what with all the challenge of trying to maneuver a wheelchair, with the star struggling to see how it would be practical. Mail Online have contacted representatives of Eamonn and ITV for comment. Eamonn recently sparked speculation that he is engaged to Alexander after she was spotted wearing a large ring on her engagement finger during a romantic getaway to Paris last week. Eamonn has been talking openly about his plans to marry Katie and has made it clear he wants to spend the rest of his life with her, a source told The Sun. They're already living together and he knows it feels right. They have a very strong connection and get on very well. She has given him a real lust for life and she looks after him. In pictures obtained by the publication, the couple headed to the Louvre, with Alexander wearing a gold diamond ring on her engagement finger. The counsellor was not pictured wearing the band at a Christmas Carol concert in West London on December 5. It comes amid reports Eamonn and Ruth are still only communicating through their lawyers, despite the pair's amicable olive branch on social media this week. The Loose Women star appeared to accept ex-husband Eamonn's peace offering and returned the like on a post of he and his co-host Isabel Webster as they wrapped up their final show of the year. It comes after Eamonn issued a public display of support for ex-wife Ruth, 64, as she paid an emotional visit to her unwell mother Joan in hospital earlier this week. In his first notable contact with Ruth since their separation, the GB News presenter liked her post. But Mail Online understands that the estranged couple's relationship hasn't thawed despite the cryptic move on Instagram. Ruth's ill-stricken mother Joan has always played an important part in Eamonn's life, so it was important to him to like her post. Eamonn Holmes, a veteran broadcaster and well-known TV personality, has reportedly turned down a lucrative six-figure offer from ITV to participate in the upcoming season of Celebrity Big Brother. According to sources, the deal, which was considered one of the most enticing offers presented to Holmes in recent years, was declined due to personal concerns, particularly surrounding his relationship with his girlfriend, Katie Alexander, and his ongoing health challenges. The offer and its appeal. Producers of the hit reality show were reportedly keen to have Holmes as a contestant due to his popularity and the increased public interest in his personal life. Holmes has had a long and illustrious career in broadcasting, including roles on This Morning and GB News. His potential inclusion in Celebrity Big Brother was seen as a major draw for the show, particularly in light of his high-profile divorce from Ruth Langsford, his former co-host and wife of 14 years. The deal, reportedly worth a significant six-figure sum, included accommodations for Holmes' mobility needs and promised a supportive environment in the Big Brother house. However, despite the substantial offer, Holmes ultimately declined, citing several personal and professional reasons. Concerns over health and mobility. Holmes has been open about his struggles with chronic pain and mobility issues following major back surgery. Over the past few years, he has often appeared in public using mobility aids, including a walking stick and an electric wheelchair. These challenges were a critical factor in his decision to reject the offer, as he feared that the demands of the show might exacerbate his condition. A source close to Holmes revealed, Eamonn was flattered by the offer but ultimately felt that the environment of the Big Brother house might not be the best fit for him at this stage. He's focused on his recovery and maintaining a sense of normalcy in his personal life. Prioritizing his relationship. Another significant factor influencing Holmes' decision was his relationship with Katie Alexander, a PR professional with whom he has been romantically linked since his split from Langsford. The couple, who have been seen together publicly in recent months, are reportedly planning to move in together, signaling the seriousness of their relationship. Holmes was reportedly concerned about being away from Alexander for an extended period during the show's filming. A friend of the broadcaster commented, Eamonn values his time with Katie and felt that being away from her for weeks on end would not be ideal for their relationship, especially given how new it is. Public and professional reactions. Holmes' decision has sparked widespread discussion among fans and industry insiders. Some praised his choice to prioritize his health and personal life, while others expressed disappointment at missing the opportunity to see him in the Big Brother house. Despite turning down the offer, Holmes continues to remain in the public eye through his work on GB News and other ventures. Future plans. In the wake of his decision, Holmes is reportedly focusing on his broadcasting commitments and his ongoing health journey. He has also hinted at new projects in development, suggesting that fans can look forward to seeing more of him on screen in the near future. As for Celebrity Big Brother, producers are said to be exploring other high-profile names to fill the void left by Holmes' absence. However, his decision to step away from the opportunity underscores his commitment to his personal well-being and relationships, demonstrating a side of the broadcaster that resonates deeply with his audience.